Let's go to France. Hello everyone, it's Leo, and in this video we are checking out the episode summaries from You and Idol PreCure for the month of November. We have the summaries for 39, 40, and 41, and we also have the titles for 42 and 43. 43 is a new title, it's the first episode from December, and we're dealing with character-driven episodes in November. Very exciting, it's something really great. And it seems that it's going to follow in December because the first episode of December is going to be an Uta episode. So let us start talking about the episodes from this month, starting with episode 39, which is going to be called Spin Sunda. This is going to be a very important episode because it is going to have a special crossover with Dancing Star PreCure. They're going to be making their first anime appearance. How cool is that? Oh my god. But this episode is going to be focused on Sunda senpai and also Kokoro and the girls helping him. So Sunda is going to be training, and he's also the president of the dance club. And one day Kokoro is going to be walking and she spots Sunda practicing like crazy. She is going to see that he is doing lots of great moves, but then he tries to do a special move by jumping, spinning midair. And when he tried to land, he ended up falling. And so he collapsed right after landing. And panicking, she ran over to help Sunda. And then Kokoro tells the girls what happens, and they decide to help him in his training. And then he announced that he is going to win the Dancing Star Cup. So the appearance of the Dancing Star PreCure in this episode is not just a random appearance. There's going to be some tie-in to the episode itself, especially because Dancing Star is closely related to dance, and Sunda is a character that is related to dance as well. Together, obviously, with Kokoro, who has a very good ability in dancing. And in this episode, we're going to be able to see both of them having a stronger bond, a stronger connection, and the girls helping Sunda senpai, which is something that they do a lot, the idol girls. It's interesting to mention that Sunda was already captured as a victim. We don't know if this is going to happen again in episode 39, but I really believe it will, and he will become a victim twice. And what I'm most excited apart from the Dancing Star tie-in is obviously to see how Kokoro is going to deal with everything. I think she's a very interesting character, and I really like seeing her take action. She really charges into action every time she can. So I feel like in this episode, it's not going to be any different, and I cannot wait to see what this episode has in store for us related to Kokoro. And then on the next episode, we are going to France in You and Idol PreCure, or I mean, not we, as in the whole group, but one of them is going to France. Episode 40 is called Please Listen, the Rainbow Colored Melody. In this episode, Nana is going to get tickets and concert tickets, airplane tickets and concert tickets to watch her mom, Mutsumi. And her mom is a professional pianist, and she is performing worldwide. She is touring worldwide. And so Nana will receive tickets to be able to see her in another country. Oh my god, how cool is that? I love traveling. Nana, take me with you, please. I would love to go to France one day. And so Nana and her father are both going to France, and both of them are going to be able to enjoy Mutsumi's performance as a pianist. And so they're going to spend a precious family time after so long. And as they're together, Nana will remember something that her mom told her before traveling, before going overseas. Her mom will also remember the same thing that she told Nana before traveling. And so she will come to Nana and say, "Why don't we just stay and live in France?" So, as I mentioned in an earlier video, I feel like this is probably going to be the closure for each of the characters in the show. And episode 40 is going to be Nana's last centered episode. And so she's going to be the first one to have a centered episode, which is going to be episode 40. And I think that the drama will arise as in, is she going to stay in France? Will she want to move to France? Does she already have an established life for herself in Japan? Or will she want to move in with her mom and stay with her family in France? She's probably going to be torn, even though she is an idol, she is Cure Wink. She also has her mom that she loves so much and her family that she will probably want to stay together. This is a drama that instantly reminded me of another blue character in PreCure that I personally find incredible and had an amazing character arc in Delicious Party PreCure, who is Kokone, Cure Spicy. I loved her character arc, and her character arc concluded with the possibility of her going overseas, living with her family, and leaving Japan and leaving the PreCures and her friends. Kokone decided to not go in Delicious Party, but we don't really know how Nana will deal with this. I believe she's not going to go either. But the thing is that we don't really know the future of You and Idol. Because are we going to have Puririn and Matadon, for example, going back to Land after the season is over, and so there's no more Idol PreCure, they're not going to perform together anymore. So if that's the case, Nana can easily go back. Not go back, but move in and stay with her family. Apart from that, I think that this is a nice drama to put Nana in. I feel like, even though it is a little tough, it is not little, it is very tough for her character. It's going to be something very tough for her to decide, but it's a decision that will weigh in everything she lived after the season started, since episode 3 onwards. And even though Nana is a good pianist, this has never really been a focus on her character. Rather, I feel like the biggest thing about Nana's character is that she is able to sense and understand other people and notice when they need help, notice when they need a helping hand, someone to listen to. And she's also able to make people braver. This is something that we've seen happen with Nana in episode 3. Nana needed that boost of courage that Uta gave her, but then she started giving it to others. We saw that with Matadon and how much she helped Matadon, and the amount of time they spent together and the amount of things that she did for Matadon was incredible. We saw what she did to Uta in the Halloween episode as well, the Banana Sisters. It was everything. We saw how she went after Puririn to try and resolve the memory loss issue that was bothering Uta a lot and that was bringing Uta down. Uta was cracking down. We saw what she did to Zakuri as well, which was something really incredible, how much she empathizes with people. And now it is time for her to look at herself. It is time for her to try and decide something to herself. We've seen her dealing with others, but what about her own sense of self? How will Nana deal with this huge decision that she has in her life now? Honestly, this is amazing, and I cannot wait to see what this episode holds in store for us. Apart from the fact that this episode reminded me of Kokone from Delicious Party, this also reminded me a little bit of Happiness Charge PreCure, because in Happiness Charge, we had Cure Earl, who was an original Cure from France. And we also had, in one of the episodes, Cure Honey going to France, helping Cure Earl fight a little bit. And it was really nice. I really liked Cure Earl, her powers. It was really cute. This idea that Happiness Charge had was really great, even though it had its issues. By the way, Oddish Hime released an amazing video about Happiness Charge PreCure. This is the season I love. And so if you haven't checked it out, go check it out on her channel, Oddish Hime, here on YouTube. Don't forget to check it out. And now, moving on to episode 41, I'll protect the Kyun Kyun of my heart. As I said, this month is probably going to be focused on character-driven episodes, and episode 41 it is going to be the time for Kokoro to be the main focus. And in this episode, we're going to have an election for the next student council president at their school. And there is one specific candidate who's called Chio, and she promises to shut down the Idol PreCure Research Club. And she says that the Idol PreCure Research Club has achieved nothing. But what happens is that Kokoro is a very dedicated member of this club. There's a lot of passion towards Kokoro's feeling towards the Idol PreCure. Even though she's one of them, she is still a huge fan of the Idol PreCure. And so Kokoro decides to prove to this girl that the club has actually done a lot. But this is going to be the plot of the episode. I feel like it's really good that they've chosen this for a Kokoro-driven episode, because I feel like Kokoro is one character that has the biggest passion for the Idol PreCure. I mean, there's also Purirun/Zukyun, but I feel like Kokoro is the one that feels the strongest. Even though she's a member, she's also a huge fan. And another thing is that the Idol PreCure Research Club has been constantly appearing in the show, and they have been relevant in the show as well in many different ways. We have them being important in certain moments of the show. We have them being relevant voices for the decisions that the Idol PreCure are going to make. Even though we have Tanaka, who is someone who deals with this kind of thing for the Idol PreCure, the research club is also very, very important. And the research club was also important when Kokoro became a PreCure, because that is when Purirun noticed how passionate Kokoro was. That was one of the moments that Purirun noticed. And now even Pudding and Meron are part of the club. They love being part of it. And the club is really important for everything related to the Idol PreCure activities. And I like it because I think that if there was any character to deal with this, it had to be Kokoro. It really had to be her to be able to deal with this sentiment and to try and prove how important this group is, how important the research club is for the school, and not only for the school, for the idols and for the fans as well. Because, you know, we see that the fans, they have a lot of fun working with the club as well. And this is a very important thing. Apart from that, we also have by the way, this episode right here is going to be a very important one. Very important one for a specific reason. This episode is going to be written by two huge people from the Idol PreCure team, which are Chiaki Kon and Kaito Yoichi. Chiaki Kon is the director, Kaito Yoichi is the writer. Both of them are writing this episode. So I think we need to prepare ourselves for something very impactful. What's interesting about this is that Chiaki Kon, she is using her pen name Chiaki Inaba for this. Whenever she is doing something that is not directing, she uses Chiaki Inaba as her pen name. So the one who's writing this episode is actually Chiaki Inaba, who is the same person as Chiaki Kon, but she writes the episodes under a different name. That's how she does. That's how she crafts her art, basically. And so big names writing this episode, so we can expect something great. And now for episode 42, the title is Connect, Kimi Kara no Eko. I feel like it's important to have the Japanese name. I'm just saying the Japanese name here because this name, the Japanese part, is the name of Kaito's song. So Kimi Kara no Eko, that is his song. But the name of the episode translated is Connect, an echo from you. This episode is probably going to deal with Kaito again. We have two plot points that are open when it comes to Kaito. One of them is his relationship with Kazuma. This has been open for a while, but we now know what Kaito has been hiding and what he's been dealing with since the start. And there's also the fact that he now knows, or he imagines, that Uta is Cure Idol. He knows both of them. He knows Uta and he knows Cure Idol. So he knows both, but he thought they were different people. Now he believes that both of them are the same. he hasn't said anything. We just saw this at the end of episode 37, that he realized that Uta and Pure Idol are the same. But now we're going to see, I don't know, because we do not have the summary for this episode, but we're probably going to see something related to this in this episode as well. Is it going to be the moment that he noticed that both Uta and Pure Idol are the same? Is it going to be remembered in this episode and we're finally going back to this? I believe we will. I believe there will be a moment in which he will tell Uta that he knows her secret or something like that. And there's probably going to be some sort of resolution towards Kaito, towards Kazuma, because Jogi has been dealing with the fact that he now knows that Kaito cares about him, that Kaito cares about his feelings. And we also have the title of episode 43. Oh, by the way, episode 42, important to mention again. Episode 42, which is going to be Kaito's episode, or we believe it's going to be Kaito's episode based on the title, is going to have its storyboard done by Chiaki Kon. Important to mention because Chiaki Kon is the director of the show. I love when Chiaki Kon does storyboard. I love Chiaki Kon as a whole. I think she is a great director. I think she's amazing. But, overall, I think she always does a great job. So I really believe that episode 42 is going to be amazing as well. And episode 43, we just have the title, Uta's Song. That's it. We don't really know what this episode is going to deal with. I believe this episode is going to deal with the aftermath of Uta knowing that Kaito knows she is Pure Idol. That is what I believe, at least. We don't really know how things are going to go for Uta here in this moment, but this is clearly an Uta episode and she is going to be the focus. So I believe that we're going to keep on having character-driven episodes until Uta's episode, I think, at least. Because later on down the road, we're going to have to deal with Purirun and Merodon. We don't know how things are going to be for both of them, if they're both going to be if they're both going to go back to Kiriki Land or something, if they're going to start dealing with this kind of thing, or we don't really know. But they are going to start dealing with both of them when it comes to their plot, their storylines, and I believe it's going to tie in with Dark Ine. I also believe that there is a huge chance of Kazuma or of Jogi stop being Kazuma after episode 38. After episode 42, After episode 42, maybe he will be purified by Uta's song, by Uta's performance. And after the Halloween episode that we saw both Cuddy and Zakuri in their human forms, and we also had Chokirine noticing that they're humans and they're full of Kira. I also believe that Chokirine's days as Chokirine are coming to an end. I don't know when. If I were to bet, I would say Kokoro's episode, because we had Cuddy being purified and he's a big fan of Uta, and then we had Zakuri being purified and he's a big fan of Nana, and I feel like we need a big fan of Kokoro here, maybe Chokirine. I don't know. I think it's a little late for that, but not that we need that specifically, but I think that it would be nice if Kokoro, or if something related to Kokoro, were able to save Chokirine, So let's wait and see. I believe that this is going to be a powerful month. One of the things I really like about You and Idol is the characters and how they're written. I think all of them are full of charm. And I especially like the way Nana is written. Except for Merodon, obviously, because she is the best. But I really, really like the way Nana is written in the show. So I cannot wait for her episode. This is making me very, very excited. I think it's going to be gorgeous. I think it's going to be amazing. And apart from that, I feel like we're going to have a lot of fun, but we're going to suffer a little bit as well, because we're on to a month that is going to be full of drama. I just cannot wait. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member here on YouTube, on Patreon, on Throne, thank you very, very much for your support. and also the Magical Cinnamon production team helping me with this content, especially Inu. Thank you very, very much. And if you watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!